Welcome to The Mix. I'm Mark Halpern. Tonight our topic is contemporary art. What's in, what's out, what's hot, and what's less than hot. We'll also talk about which cities and artists are now turning out the best work. And joining us to talk about all this, Abraham Lubelski. Welcome. You are a conceptual artist. You know that, but I'm telling everybody else. He's done work with interactive art, and he also is the founder of New York NY Arts Magazine. Okay. The magazine is available in over 2,000 international locations and also can be seen all over this city of Manhattan in some of your finer galleries. Mr. Lubelski, welcome.
Thank you.
So, I'm a big internet guy, so let me ask you first, how has the internet changed the practice of contemporary art?
Well, I think I'm as big an internet guy as you are probably, but that was my main goal. I mean, from the very start, my focus was to get all the material out on the internet. It's such a wonderful, vast medium, and we reach so many people so quickly, and there's an immediacy in the art world of what's happening that I want to work that way very quickly and directly.
Is there evidence that the internet has brought more people into making art, more people into caring about art, looking at art, or is it just allowing the existing group of people to do more?
It's drawn in so many hundreds of thousands of young people and artists who are looking for the internet as a creative tool to show and to share material very rapidly, and to also use it as a paintbrush, to use the technology with new ideas and new equipment, new installations. And it's reaching, you know, small villages in China and places in Thailand and places in the northwest of Canada. It's just amazing. I mean, we're in touch with like literally hundreds of artists every week, you know, who want to, you know, share their information, and the internet is it. I mean, it's just amazing. It's very fast and very accessible to everyone.
You know, they don't call it the World Wide Web for nothing. It's worldwide.
Worldwide. I would sort of say galactic almost. Galactic. I'm sure somebody out there is getting those messages.
Now, New Yorkers are kind of snobbish and always think that anything done here is done biggest and best and most important. Is New York the center of the contemporary art world, or do other cities rival New York these days?
Well, New York is a wonderful center, and always has been, because it has so much diversity right within its streets and the boroughs. But the fact of the matter is that there are literally hundreds of New York cities or equivalents throughout the world nowadays, and this is something that everyone has to be very much aware of, that the art scene is shifting almost every day to a new location.
So people know a lot of art here, a lot of art in European capitals, Tokyo, a huge artistic city. What are some smaller cities, either in the United States or around the world, that are currently hot with local contemporary artists?
Well, certainly San Francisco, you know, up in Canada and Ottawa. Miami has been doing major expos and art fairs, joining with European organizations to do art fairs. In Beijing and in Shanghai and Hong Kong, there are now over half a dozen different art fairs and art expos. A lot of galleries are flooding there, and young people in Beijing are opening up exhibition centers. Beijing is doing a second time a biennial starting in about 3 weeks from now. We're in touch with them. All these small and major cities, up in Vietnam and in Saigon, there are many new groups of organizations and art groups organizing and doing exhibitions. So it's popping up everywhere. And nowadays, I would say there are at least 100 different major art fairs and organizations and gatherings of art groups and exhibitions every month in a different part of the world.
And of course, as we said, the internet is a huge facilitator of that. You mentioned China. We're going to be looking at some great contemporary art throughout the program, great and provocative. But let me ask you to look at one piece with me here from China. What can you tell me about that, either specifically, or what trends can we see in there that are now typical of contemporary art?
Well, this is a series of a group of artists who have been kind of, you know, sticking their necks out literally and doing really absurd and outrageous things. Figurative, but these are performances, photography, and so to document the work, but essentially they're just behavioral performance presentations, installations. They photograph themselves and do films inside their own homes, doing absurd, outrageous things, and this is their lifestyle. This is what is considered their artwork for the day, for the moment, and it keeps fluctuating, keeps evolving, and keeps changing. So the art has become a very temporal, very immediate, very momentary experience rather than the traditional artwork. And you see that quite a lot where artists in some of the less affluent regions of the world, where they make use of just their very own lives, their own experiences, and they say, this is the art. Here I am. This is what I'm doing. This is my artwork.
Now, Asia, of course, the great Asian nations have had a long tradition of doing some of the finest art in the world. Europe, the United States also, almost working separately. Not a lot of crossover. There's a lot of crossover now, though, isn't there, in contemporary art between Asia and the West?
Yeah, there always has been and continues to be, especially with the internet and the immediacy of information. I mean, people are in touch with each other within seconds, and they're talking to other artists and other groups, and they're exchanging ideas and exchanging shows and sharing techniques and materials. I mean, Nam June Paik, who started in the mid-60s, who came into Soho, also a very rundown area, he was running around the streets and collecting junk on Canal Street and making his sculpture. And this is the way people are always doing